Welcome to today's online orientation meeting. All students and parents, teachers are welcome for today's orientation examination. So now I hand over to Nilima Madam. We will do the introduction regarding the exam and what are the do's and don'ts and today's program. So hand over to Nilima Madam.
Thank you, Dr. Mohite. Good morning, students and their parents, and wish you all the best for your competitions. Now, while opening, let me first welcome the dignitaries who are attending this session for you. Our advisor, Shri Yashwant Karanskar sir, is here with us. Our president, Shri Achyut Mane, and our treasurer, Shri Sandeep Shinde, is also with us. Along with this, we have Shri Rajendra Kala, Shri Amol Tharwar, and Shrimati Aditi Saxena with us to guide you about do's and don'ts of the competition on the day of your actual paper solving, I should say, on 30th. Students, please understand that you must have noted down the problems which you have faced during the mock test. I understand all that. But what I feel is you should listen to all the instructions that are being given to you today and then only post your doubts on the chat. If your doubts are not solved in the explanation, that time you will post your doubts in the chat. I am 100% sure that all your doubts will be solved in the presentation that will be given in the course of time from now. I hand over the proceeds of today's meeting to Shri Rajendra Kala, Amol sir, and Aditi madam. Thank you.
Aditi, we can start with the user interface.
Sure, sir. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for the brief, and good morning, everybody. So I will be taking you through the examination process that you will have to follow for the upcoming examination. So I will just start by sharing my screen. Please do confirm if everybody can see my screen. So probably screen sharing would have to be allowed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, received. Thank you so much. Please, if anybody could confirm my screen is visible to now, everyone now.
Yes, Aditi.
Thank you for the confirmation. So this is the examination interface wherein you will have to come and take the examination. The link to this interface as well as your username and password would be shared separately. So you need to access this link, which is exam.hostexam.net, and you need to log in using the email address and the password which has been provided to you. So once you put in both the details, you need to select I'm not a robo, and then you need to sign yourself into the interface. Once signed in, you can see the name of the examination that you have been associated with, and you can see the activation window along with the status. So I will go ahead and start this exam. So you need to click on the start button to initiate the exam launching process. Then you have the terms of use, which needs to be accepted, and then you can continue. So the first step in this examination process is going to be a system compatibility check. So this process is to ensure that the device which you are taking for the examination is compatible with online exam. So all your prerequisites such as your camera, your microphone, your internet connectivity will be tested here. So I will just go ahead and start this process. So you can see this is an automatic and and a sequential process. So in the first step, you will have to click your clear photograph. So this photograph will be stored and captured for the records. And in the next process, you will have to provide your identity document. So currently I'm just covering my screen, but you have to provide your valid government ID proof in this process. The next step is the screen sharing. So now you will have to share your screen. This is a mandatory step. So in order to share your screen, you need to select the entire screen. It is imperative. Entire screen has to be shared. If you go to Chrome tab or window, you will not be allowed to proceed. So you need to go to entire tab, entire screen, and then you need to select the screen, which you will be able to see over here in the pop-up box. And then the share button will be enabled. So you can go ahead and share. Now the pop-up or the notification that you see over here, you are not supposed to stop sharing at any point in the examination. Because if you stop sharing, your examination will also stop. So what you can do, if you believe this step is hindering or is kind of obstructing your view, then you can go ahead and hide it. So this is the only thing that you can do, which is hiding, but you cannot stop sharing in any way. So now once you have completed all your checks, you need to continue to the examination. So this step will take a few seconds. Let me just retry. I think there was a network glitch. Just allow me a minute. So I'm going through the entire process again. So if in case you get logged out due to any network problem, you will have to re-log in and go through the entire process again. So now I'll just provide my identity document here. So this is how you need to provide your identity document as well. I'm sharing my screen again. If you get stuck at a particular step, or if you're not able to pass any step, you will have the troubleshooting guide on the screen itself, which you can refer to. So once all the steps are completed, you will land on the examination instructions. So you can see the duration of the exam here, and then you can have a look at the instructions. So go through the instructions very carefully. So these are going to be the examination pattern and guidelines you have to follow. So read the examination instructions very carefully. Once you have read them, you need to select or check this box to give an indication that you have read your instructions. Then you can go ahead and begin your examination. So now this is going to be your main examination interface. Your live feed will be displayed to you as well. So this is going to be recorded for during the entire exam as well as your screen as well. You can read the question over here, and here you can select the correct answer. You have the option of saving and next. So you need to ensure that this particular examination is configured in a forward only mode, which means once you have answered or skipped this question, you would not be able to come back and access this again. So you can see there is no previous button. You can only move forward. So once you have moved forward after attempting a particular question, you cannot come back to it. So you can likewise go ahead and answer your questions. Here, the timer of the examination will also be running, so you can see how much time is left for your examination. And if you indulge in any kind of malpractice, so you will notice that as I'm speaking, there is a red warning on the screen which says lip movement detected. Likewise, if you are caught talking, or if we identify that there are multiple people with you, if you try to use your mobile phone, or if you try to leave your seat, or if you try to cover your camera, all of these actions will be recorded and they will be treated as a violation of the examination protocol. So you need to ensure that you are following all the guidelines of the examination and you are not trying to cheat in any way. So please ensure all of these are followed very carefully. So you can keep on attempting your examination likewise. And here, if you want to revisit the exam instructions again, if you feel that you have missed on something, you can revisit the examination instructions. And if there is any warning or if there is any notification on your screen, or if you try to navigate away, so you can see I tried to close my Zoom pop-up. So there was a warning on my screen. Likewise, if I try to switch away, let's say Google something else, I will have a warning displayed on my screen. And the number that you see over here, it's high for this presentation's purpose. Otherwise, it's going to be restricted and you will not be allowed to browse anything else apart from the examination window. If you try to do this, it's going to be considered as an attempt or violation of the examination protocol. And after the prescribed number of attempts, if those are exhausted, your exam will get terminated and you will be disqualified. So it is a request that everybody ensures that your notifications on the device are disabled and you do not try to navigate away from the exam screen at all. So I'll just click on this. We also have a rough note sheet provided on the screen itself, so you need not carry any pen and paper with you. You can simply use this rough note sheet on screen. So I think I have covered everything with respect to the examination interface, and also we have
You can answer all this question, Aditi,
um,
and then say explain this legend.
sure. So here I am just answering these questions. Now here the legends that you see is as in when you keep on answering the questions, the attempt summary panel will give you a clear indication with a different shape and color of the status of the question. So you can see the first question I have attempted and answered, which is why it is in a green pentagon. The second question I have skipped. Likewise, third question I have answered. So these are the different shapes which will give you a clear indication of the number of questions or the question which you have answered. But as I mentioned previously, even if you have skipped a question, you would now not be able to access it again. But it's just for your reference that you had answered the first question and you had answered the third and the seventh question. Currently, you are at the eighth one. And if you would like to recall this, then here you can refer to the attempt summary panel for a clear visual indication of the status of the question. The marks of the question will also be available over here. So you can see the ninth question is for 2 marks. If the question is quite lengthy, you will be able to scroll it, and alternatively, you can expand the question and the summary, the answer panel as well, if any question or any option is lengthier and you would like to have a better view of the same. So once you have attempted all the questions, let's say I will do so now. I have attempted my question, so I'm on the last one. I cannot move forward now because I'm done with the exam. So once you're done with the examination, you have to click on the submit exam button. So one more thing you have to ensure is that the submit exam button should only be clicked on once you have completed your examination. If you are answering a question and you click on submit exam button, this is for the final submission of the examination and not for the submission of a question. So you have to be very, very careful that submit exam button should only be clicked when you are done with your exam. So after answering a question, you need to only click on save and next. And on the last question, once you're done, click on submit exam button an examination summary will pop up on your screen, and it will tell you that you have answered this many number of questions, and this number of questions were skipped or left unanswered. Now, if you're done with your exam, and you can go ahead and go ahead for the final submission. On this screen, your examination, you will be able to see that your exam has been successfully submitted and you need to wait. So the recording will be saved over here. And after this, you will get a final prompt you can close. And on your screen as well, you can see that your examination will be here in the past exams with the status completed. So now I have shared the entire interface and your journey. If anybody has a question, or Rajendra sir, would you like to take over from here?
Yeah, so any questions which has been arise from a candidate front? So the requirement with regards to the exam system is that though the application works on Android phone, tabs, etc., for the student's convenience, we suggest that you should must use a laptop or a desktop with a working web camera and a working mic. In Android phone systems, though the exam system will be running successfully into that, but you will not be comfortable in terms of viewing all the questions because the screen size will be very less.
Bala sir, may I ask a few questions?
Yes, please.
Yeah. The first question I want to ask is, by mistake, the time is up and student has forgotten to press the submit button. What happens?
So,
Should the
oh, yeah, ma'am, I will answer. So,
Okay.
for an example, if suppose you had forget to submit the button, okay, the exam, what is happening exactly, each response at every second, the moment you answer that is being saved. Okay. So your response, the answer for a question is being saved at that moment only. So even
Okay.
though if you don't submit the exam at after the scheduled end exam time, the system will auto submit your exam with all the responses which you had given. So
So that means
there will be no loss for a candidate's data or response.
great. So students, please note that even if you forget to press the submit button, there is no problem. Only thing, you should not submit the button on time. Can I ask the next one?
Yeah, please, ma'am, carry on.
Students are asking mark for review. What is mark for review?
Actually, as earlier we discussed this, the question is basically going to be in a forward mode because once you had basically answered a question, you will not able to come back to that questions. So the mark for review happens only in an examination where the backward navigation is also available, where you are unsure about the questions and you want to recorrect it or recheck it. But in this exam, the review button will not be available. You will not be able to see review button because the exam configuration is basically on a forward mode only. As the exam doesn't have any negative marking, we advise examinee to answer the question and move forward. Because once you had unanswered the question, it will not appear again on your screen. So once the things are not appearing on your screen, there's no option of review will be available.
तो स्टूडेंट्स आपको ये ध्यान में रखना है कि आपको क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे के आगे बढ़ना है. आप उस क्वेश्चन की तरफ मुड़ के नहीं आ सकते. ये आपको हमेशा से ध्यान में रखना है। निगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं है, तो आंसर किए बगैर आप आगे ना जाएं। सर, इज देयर ऑप्शन ऑफ चेंजिंग द आंसर?
Yeah, till that time you are in that question, you can change the answer. But once you set save and next, you will not.
सो बच्चों, आपको पता चला होगा कि जब तक आप वहां हो, उस क्वेश्चन पे हो, आप आंसर चेंज कर सकते हो। एक बार आपका वो, आप अगले क्वेश्चन पे गए तो आप आंसर चेंज नहीं कर सकते। ये आपको समझना जरूरी है। ओके, कैन somebody explain how to use the rough note sheet on the screen?
So, ma'am, what we will do once we get all the questions from your candidate, Aditi will again run a second time the similar process at the end.
Okay. Students need to know government ID, Aadhaar card is okay.
Aadhaar card is absolutely fine because these are going to be the students. So the only document which be available with them is going to be Aadhaar card, their school ID card, or the admit
Okay.
card issued by GBSTA. Anything will do. We just require a photo ID of a candidate to authenticate. And then second thing, the photograph which they had given us during the registration for this exam, for this competition, these photos are being captured. Okay. So the person with the wrong face at the start of examination, when they capture their photo, the candidate who had registered with the photograph should only be able to log in into the system.
ओके, सो आपको ये भी पता चला रहेगा कि आपको आईडी के कौन से ऑप्शंस हैं, और आपका फोटो और आपका फेस मैच होना बहुत जरूरी है। ठीक है ना? सर, they are asking about 4 GB RAM and technical details about
Okay.
their laptop.
Okay, so basically, the thing is like that if you have any laptop in the Windows operating system, the only requirement is a reliable internet connection. Our system will work absolutely fine with an 1 Mbps internet bandwidth. Nowadays, any service provider normally provides 4 MB kind of an bandwidth available with them. Your Geo or the Airtel, any connection. The system will work if you have a working camera with a mic, a Google Chrome browser. That is the only requirement we have. 4 MB, 6 MB, 8 MB, it will work. No issues in that.
तो आपका ये ऑप्शन क्वेश्चन भी सॉल्व हो गया है। Another thing, many students are worried because they could not attend the mock test, the demo mock test, which was run on 15.
Okay, so the thing is like that at the only possibility of not attending the mock link which we have been shared with students on 15th and all, this is basically a device compatibility check. What if you look at it, it basically checks about your working camera, internet connectivity, etc., etc. The exam for the candidate, if it is not worked on their system, the only reason is behind that the screen sharing on the Google Chrome entire screen has not been shared. There's no other reason other than that. The mandatory requirement is to share the screen.
So, will there be any problem in this screen sharing if they are using mobile?
So,
they are not able to access it?
no, they will be able to. In mobile also there will go till the time the mobile device is also equipped with the Google Chrome, there is no problem at all. The browser has to be Google Chrome.
Okay. So,
Okay.
this device compatibility check will get over if they attend our next mock test.
Okay, so ma'am, for the next mock test, what I am basically suggesting is on 27th we had planned a exam. Actually, we will not call it a mock test. It is going to be a practice exam. The entire duration, the exam will consist of total 100 questions based on the previous year questions paper of GBSTA. It will schedule for entire 90 minutes. The exam window for examinee will be available from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. on 27th. During this period from 11 a.m. onwards, they can log in and they can give the examination as per their convenience. Now, second thing, in this exam also, if a candidate faces any issues during this exam on 27th on a practice exam, what we recommend to the students, please download a remote tool called AnyDesk.
Can you spell it, sir?
ANYDESK. AnyDesk. Okay. Now you can download that AnyDesk tool from. It's free, available over the internet. You can Google and you can download that tool. And once your exam is not, you are not able to successfully log in, or you are facing any challenge in terms of your device, we will provide you a help desk number where my colleague will connect, my support team will connect with you on any desk and will set up your machines for exam compatibility.
Okay. So students, आपको पता चला होगा कि 27th को आपको पूरी एग्जाम कैसे चलने वाली है। आपको 1.5 घंटे का पूरा 90 मिनट्स में आपको 100 क्वेश्चंस जो सॉल्व करने हैं ये, और उसके पहले आपका डिवाइस कॉम्पेटिबिलिटी करना है, उसके बारे में पूरी पूरी जानकारी मिलने वाली है आपको। 27 की ये टेस्ट मिस नहीं करनी है। और दूसरी सजेशन ये रहेगी कि जिस डिवाइस से आप 30 तारीख को कंपटीशन में हिस्सा लेने वाले हैं, उसी डिवाइस से 27 तारीख की टेस्ट आप दे, तो आपका डिवाइस कॉम्पेटिबिलिटी का पार्ट जो है वो उसी दिन सेट हो जाएगा। Okay, now I think Aditi madam should give a repeat demo with slightly slower pace. So those students who wish to note down the steps, they can note it down.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. So I'm resharing my screen. Please, everybody can confirm if it is visible.
Okay, Aditi madam, just a minute. See, I spoke in Hindi for those who were not able to understand English. Everything what Kala sir told, the same thing I had repeated in Hindi. So, and this is on YouTube, so you can recheck the meeting details on your own anytime you want. Okay. Thank you, Aditi ma'am. You may go ahead.
So, ma'am, should I speak in English or should I switch to Hindi for
No, you
everybody's
speak in
convenience?
English.
Okay, noted.
Okay, 1 minute, Aditi ma'am, you also can answer this question.
Yes,
iPhone
please.
and MacBook with Safari browser.
Okay,
Will they-
so it is advisable that even if you're using iPhone or MacBooks, you can download the Google Chrome browser on your devices for a better and smooth exam experience.
Okay.
And you also need to ensure that if you're using your MacBook, the screen sharing should be enabled for Google Chrome browser because MacBook has a different setting. So in that, on your device, you need to allow screen sharing for Google Chrome. And that will be available in your system's privacy.
So those who are asking about the question in the mock test, don't worry about that. Those who have got MacBook and all those things, you must have got your answer from Aditi ma'am. You have to have the same browser and you have to enable screen sharing.
One more thing to add here, ma'am. On an iPhone, the candidate, those who are using iPhone or iPad devices, they must understand there's certain settings in an iPhone and iPad which they should be aware of, because sharing, there's a difference in sharing from an iPhone device or from an Apple device, because for Apple they treat Google as an outside application. So there's some specific setting which candidate has to perform on an iPad and iMac to permit Google sharing.
So they have to go to some expert and get it done for them.
Yes,
if they
ma'am.
themselves are unable to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So those who are having MacBook, iPhone or iPad, you must have got your answer. Okay. Again and again, I'm telling you, it was just a mock test. The questions for Homibhabha actual test will be based on the syllabus that has been prescribed.
And on 27th, we will be having the practice test based on the syllabus itself.
Do attend. Now you have got timing from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Spare 2 hours with your parents or whosoever to understand the procedure and take the benefit of that 2-hourly session. You will get your login IDs and passwords, all the details by them. Those who don't have a laptop or desktop, you can attempt it from your any type of tab if you have, or your mobile phone. Power cut, then you can use your mobile data. So sir, the question is, if they have Wi-Fi and if there is power cut, in the process of switching from Wi-Fi to mobile data, what will happen?
See, the once the internet connection is not there, definitely the exam is going to stop, right? Now, once exam is stopped, they again have to, once they connect with their mobile hotspot or any other spot, they again have to go to the exam or the URL which has been shared, and again they will click their photo and log in. And
But
the exam will be start. For example, if suppose a student had given 15 questions, okay, he already answered 15 questions, and suddenly the internet connection has gone or electricity has gone. If he logs in after 2 minutes, 3 minutes after connecting to the mobile internet connection, he will be basically taken to the last question where he was, where he got disconnected. So he don't have to worry. His all 15 responses are already been saved. Am I clear?
yes.
Okay.
Now it is not possible that there is no mobile data. If you don't have any type of internet connectivity, it is impossible. For syllabus, you may go to the website, you will come to. Okay. For again and again, sir has told very clearly that you have to ensure that you are having proper internet connectivity. Okay. So I think now most of the questions, if you are unable to connect the exam portal during the exam time, it will not happen as long as your internet connectivity is intact. Please mention Chrome version. They want to know the Chrome version which is not working.
It's basically compatible with all the Google Chrome version, but it is any time recommended that you should upgrade your Google Chrome version. It gets automatically updated. So mostly the candidates, those who are using Google Chrome as a browser, they can just click an auto update and they can find with it. Within 5 minutes, it will happen.
Okay. So you must have got the answer. Username and password will be made available to you in coming time. Don't worry about it. Okay. And your internet facility, you have to ensure. Thank you so much. I think the questions are being repeated. Don't worry about mock test. It has been told to you several times. Okay. Thank you. And now we will go to Aditi madam. In the meanwhile, if I spot any new variety of questions after Aditi madam's presentation, I may disturb you, Kala sir, once again. Thank you so much. Aditi madam, you may go ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I will take over from here. So as ma'am mentioned, the username and the password for the examination will be made available in the coming time. So once you have received your examination details, you need to access the examination URL, which is exam.hostexam.net. Then you need to use your email ID and the password which you would receive. So you can verify the password as well. So when you are copy pasting your username and the password, just ensure that there are no extra spaces or which may lead to incorrect credential error. So just verify your email ID and the password again. Once that is done, you can select on I am not a robot and then you can sign yourself into the examination. So the exam will appear like so on your screen. So you can read the examination name and the activation window and click on start button. The first step is going to be the terms of use. If you have not enabled your camera access, there is going to be a prompt over here, which will ask for your location access. So let's say if I do not allow my location access, then there is going to be a prompt on my screen and I would have to allow it. So you need to allow access to your camera, you need to allow access to your microphone and your location as well. So I will go ahead and accept. So this is the system compatibility check that we spoke about earlier. So you need to click on begin process. Here the system will check your internet connectivity, your camera, your microphone. If you get stuck at a particular step, we have the troubleshooting guide available on your screen itself. So you can refer to this and you can troubleshoot the issue yourself as well. So I am here sharing my screen. In the screen sharing, it is important that you share your entire screen and then you select this thumbnail and then the share button will be enabled, which you need to click. As I mentioned previously, this pop-up should not be closed at any point of time during the exam. You can hide it. And if you get stuck at a particular this step, you can go ahead and refer to the troubleshooting guide, which will take you to this document. And here all the steps that are required if you are not able to share your screen, if you're not able to share your camera, your microphone, all the troubleshooting steps will be documented here, which you can refer to, and you can ensure that your device meets all the requirements. So now my device is compatible with the system. It will be able to go ahead. So I can continue my exam. So now your photograph will also be available over here. Then the examination time will be here on your screen. So this is going to be the duration of the exam, the examination instructions, which you have to read very, very carefully. Once you have read the instructions, you can check the box and then the begin examination button will be enabled, which you can click to continue your exam. Your live feed will be displayed on your screen as well, which you can see. And if there are any violations with respect to this, you can make corrections accordingly. You can read the question and then you can see this is the mark for this particular question. Here you need to answer, and there was a question previously which says, can you change your response? Then yes, you can change. If this is not the correct answer as per you, then you can go ahead and select another one as well. But this will only be applicable until you are here on this question. Once you move to the next question, You will not be able to make any changes. As you are attempting your questions, you can see the status getting updated here in the attempt summary panel with a different shape. So here, if I answer this one again, it will turn into a green pentagon, meaning I have answered this question. If I skip this question, then it will remain as it is as a yellow upside down pentagon. Likewise, skipped questions will be here in the same status, and the answers that I select will turn into a green pentagon. So for rough note sheet, you can simply come here and you can type whatever you would like to take note of or jot down. Then you can use the rough note sheet here. The data will not be saved. So you can simply use this for any kind of rough note making or any kind of thing that you would like to take note of. The I button here denotes the examination instructions, which you can revisit at any point of time. The duration of the examination will be here on your screen. If you try to navigate away, as I mentioned previously, if you try to browse something else, if you try to access anything, if there is any notification on your screen which you try to close or access, that will be counted as an intolerance of examination protocol, and it will be calculated as such. And once the prescribed limit is breached, your exam will get terminated. So you need to be very careful. The notifications on your device should be disabled, and you should not try to switch from the examination portal at all. You should remain on the exam screen throughout the duration. The exam timer over here will give you an indication of how much time is left. And if there is any violation that's getting detected, it will be here on your screen as well. So you need to ensure that you adjust your activities accordingly. If you get logged out due to any network glitch, or if there is any power failure, you would be able to resume your examination from where you were left off. So all the responses get saved, because you can also see this, that the attempt summary is getting updated in the real time, which means my responses are getting saved in the system. So you need not worry that if you get logged out, you would not be able, your responses would be removed from the system. They will remain in the system because we are saving on every click. So all the responses that you provide will remain here. So once you are done with your examination, you can see in the attempt summary panel whether you have submitted or whether you have attempted all the questions or not. Once you are on the last question, you cannot move to the next question because this is the last one. You can only click on submit exam now. But as I mentioned previously, submit exam button should only be clicked on the last question when you are done with your examination, not before that. So people, if anybody is going to take the exam on your mobile phone, you also need to be very careful that you do not click on submit exam button when you answer your question. It should only be clicked when you are on the last question and you have completed your examination. Because on the mobile phone, the interface may be different and the submit button may be right next to save and next. So you need to ensure that you do not click on submit button. Even if you do so, the attempt summary will be prompted, but just in case, be very careful that it should not be clicked before you are done with your exam. So when you click on your submit exam button, the summary will give you the number of questions you have answered or you have skipped or missed, but now you cannot go back and attempt your examination again. So here, click on the final submission. The duration for which you have attempted the examination, your video is going to be saved in the system. This should not take more than 5 minutes, but if it does, then you can simply close the examination window directly. But you need to wait for at least 5 minutes here. So now you can see my examination is successfully completed. I can go ahead and close. And I can see that I have attempted this examination successfully because my status is completed. So if you have any questions now, please let us know so we can answer them.
Yes, Aditi madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, how do students know that they are getting warnings?
So as I showed you, the warnings were clearly on the screen under the
Red color.
timer. Yes, the
Yes.
warnings are displayed on your screen with the clear message because I was talking, so it said let movement detected. If I cover my camera, it will say candidate absent. So if you try to leave your seat or if you try to cover your camera, that will be prompted. If we see multiple people with you, so if you try to have anybody else with you during the exam, that will be like multiple people detected. If your photograph does not match with the person who's taking the examination, if there is somebody else who tries to take the exam in your place, then it will be unknown person. Likewise, the activities will be monitored and it will be clearly triggered on your screen what is the violation that you have undertaken.
The next question is, we have actually given the duration as 2 hours from
Okay.
2 to 4.
Okay.
Students have to stick to this time only. On 30th of November, there is no other time slot available. Correct?
Yes,
Yes.
on
Okay.
30th November, no
Yes.
other
Students.
slot is available.
Yes, students have to understand this.
So exam is
Next
going
month,
to start at 2:30 p.m.
yes.
Why we are suggested 2 o'clock? Because anybody faces a challenge, in that half an hour, he will be able to be assisted.
So everybody must have understood that there is no uh, time slot other than 2 to 4. So you have to attempt the exams only from 2 to 4. From 2 to 2:30, if you have any login issues, though the time is actually meant for that. Your and you should wait till your exam starts. Your competition will not start before 2:30. Okay, sir, in this, if the student is making too many login attempts, sometimes there will be a problem. Can you explain that to them?
See, all this login attempts and etc. is we going to get captured. Okay, now we are basically setting up a limit for the login also, right? It cannot be possible that a candidate we will permit somebody to log in for 100 attempts. Okay, maximum 2-3 reconnection during an exam of 130 minutes, 90 minutes is permissible. So if anybody just logs in off, logging again, login off, login again, it is basically an unfair mean. It is similar to the offline examination of paper pencil examination. You are giving an exam and you are basically going out from your exam hall every time, every few minutes. Okay, so the internet connectivity has to be there. The maximum reconnection will be allowed around 3 to 5. That's it, not more than that.
Thank you, sir. Now, few questions I'm answering. Sir, please listen to that. If I'm making any mistakes, you may
Yeah.
correct me.
Yes, ma'am.
Students will be able to give, take the exam from home also. They have to use the device which they are using on 27th, that is ideal. Thirdly, they are being proctored. Their entire behavior is being under surveillance. And students, please remember, after the competition is over also, we are going to receive all your videos and they will be checked. So be careful.
Not,
Okay, and
not only,
student,
ma'am, not only monitored, the entire activity is being recorded as well. The
correct.
activities such as that, if suppose somebody basically moves out from an exam window, that with a time stamp is being recorded. at what time, how many seconds, how many minutes he was out from that screen. Everything is recorded.
Okay. Yes, sir. Now, some students are feeling that they may find problem with on-screen rough work. So, pen and paper will be allowed, but that pen and paper should be visible.
Yes, pen and paper is allowed to solve the questions.
Yes, but it should be visible, whatever work they are doing on screen. It
Yes,
should be screen.
yes.
Okay. Yes, students, please understand that if your competition will not start immediately after you have completed the uh, procedure. The actual competition will start at 2:30 only. Okay, so that you have to understand. Sir, they are asking, is any test necessary that they should
No, no, no,
download?
no, no, no. I didn't say it's necessary. I am saying in case any candidate faces any problem, he is not able to log into the exam, to provide, to assist that individual candidate for a remote support, we will say any desk is required. As not required, if you're comfortable with your device, it is working fine, no need. Any desk requirement is only for the student who are not able to troubleshoot their device for an exam system, where we will provide them a remote assistant. That's it.
It is preventive measure that we are taking. That's all. Those who are interested or those who feel that it will be handy for them, they may download and keep it as a safety measure. Okay. I think any more instructions, sir, you wish to give?
No, again, the basic instruction is basically the candidates with regards to that what all will be considered as an unfair win in the examination. First thing, the candidate registration photo, the photo which is during the form filling they had given to us, the photo will be considered the artificial intelligence based engine is going to match their live photo with the photo which they had provided. Okay. So any candidate other than the candidate who is registered try to appear, it will be considered as an unfair win. Even though suppose he is able to give the examination, but the result will not be processed if the same person is not there. All these activities, moving out from the exam systems, coming back to the exam system, opening WhatsApp or sharing the screen, etc., will be considered recorded as an unfair mean. So please don't do that, because if you move out from your browser and etc., you will get disconnected while giving an examination. Please ensure that your pop-ups like uh, Facebook Messenger, your Telegram, your WhatsApps are compulsory shutdown mode only.
Okay. Sir has repeatedly told that 5 times you can re-log in. So there is no question of if you are logged out or something. Okay. So I think almost all the queries are solved. And I now invite our president, Sri Achitra Mane, to propose a vote of thanks. Okay. Uh, Sri Sandeep Shinde, sir, is joined.
Okay, thank you, Nilima.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all parents and students, thank you for attending this meeting. And I think all your questions will be clearly during these sessions. Thank you, Kala sirs, Aditi madams, and Amol sirs. I think Kala sirs and Nilma madam, discussion between them, all questions will be get clear, and now there is no problem for remaining for taking exam, online exam. Students are requesting your proctoring, means exam proctoring is there. So please do not show any activity, unlawful activity, it will be captures and it will be take disqualification decision. So take care about that. And again, thank to all parents and students and our all resource. Also our trustees there in meeting, Pandit sir, Azbe ma'am, Barje ma'am. We are thanking to them also. And thanks again. By order of our president, I am declaring that today's meeting is now